we're back. You're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning on this lovely Friday morning. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for getting up early and joining us. Hope you've had your coffee. And have you had your coffee?
I have had my coffee.
I've had my skinny coffee. I'm drinking the skinny coffee. You are too.
I am too. So we'll see what happens.
Have you heard of the skinny coffee? It's really, that's what they call it. It's skinny coffee. You drink coffee and lose weight. And I've lost, in the last 30 days, 11 pounds.
And I just started, so.
And you've lost 3.5.
I've lost 3.5,
Yeah.
but we're going to see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens
there
with me.
There you go. Well, if you want to know about that, give me a call. I'll tell you about it. Anyhow, that was just something I threw in there. We're back. We told you that Monica was coming, and sure enough, she is here. Monica Luithle is a volunteer with Salvation Army, the Cleveland chapter, and we're delighted to have you here today.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
And I understand that you have been involved with Salvation Army before, so tell us a little bit about your history and what you do.
I connected with Salvation Army through my local church here in town during the tornado disaster and ended up managing their warehouse for the Tornado Disaster Relief Center.
The one out on Barney Lane?
Out on Barney's Lane,
and I understand it's still open. I think Jim is out there now.
It is. Jim Welch is managing now, and I switched roles in the beginning of October and started in on Angel Tree.
There you go. Well, Angel Tree is a big deal, and we hear a lot about it this time of year, but there may be some misunderstanding about what it is, so let's start with the basics. Tell us what Angel Tree is.
Well, Angel Tree is basically just giving Christmas to children that are unfortunately their parents are financially strapped or unable to give them Christmas. And so parents come and do an interview with us and qualify for our program, and then we hang their names on a tree there at Kmart at Bradley Square Mall, and different people around the community come and take the tree off of take the tag off of the tree and shop for those child gifts for Christmas.
And the tag that's on the tree at Kmart has some suggestions on what that family's needs are?
The child's wish list.
And
a needs list.
A needs list,
good.
That's
fantastic.
I'd say that the number of tags you have on the trees has really increased over the years because of the time, the economic times.
We have 707 angels this year for Bradley County and our area around us.
What kind of response are you getting from the community?
Great. We've had a lot of good response. Just today, Eaton Hydraulics dropped off 40 children's gifts for Christmas, and they have 80 employees.
Oh my gosh.
So, we've been really excited about the turnout. We do still have right at 100 angels hanging on our tree.
Oh, 100. So that means that 600 have been adopted.
That's right, yeah.
That's fantastic. That's indicative of this community. They really do turn out when people are in need and help. And I think, as you saw back in April, the tornado disaster was an indication of what our community does when we have a problem as well. So how can people... First of all, let's find out how people can get involved as a donor or someone who wants to adopt an angel off the tree.
Well, if they'd like to adopt an angel, they just stop by Kmart, and we have Larry and Mary Vanderhoff up there, and they sit at the table there, and they'll help whoever comes up choose an angel, and they'll sign them out and shop, and they'll bring the gifts right back to Kmart, and they'll help bag it up, and myself or another Salvation Army person will come and pick up the gifts and take them to the warehouse.
So let's say me or Michelle goes up and buys the gifts and we choose an angel. Do we have to worry about gift wrapping them?
No, absolutely not. We don't want them wrapped.
Oh, you don't want them wrapped?
No, we give these gifts to the parents to give to their children for Christmas.
Oh, that is great.
So all of our donors are anonymous.
Oh, that's
fantastic. So the parents get the pleasure of wrapping the gifts. Oh, how though.
That is great.
Fantastic.
How much, I know a lot of people will wonder, how much does it usually cost? Does it vary per angel, or is it?
It does. There's a lot of variance depending on the age of the child, their needs, their wants, that type of thing. That's why you can choose your own angel, to kind of fit your family and what you can afford to give and afford to do. A lot of people go in together with a small group, a Sunday school class or an office group will go in together for a child, or a group of children, a family, different ways that people have done it.
Oh, okay.
Is there like an average cost that you could give us, maybe $100 or less?
We usually don't put an average cost on a child because it depends on what that family can do. Salvation Army is very good about stepping up and helping that child if they didn't get everything on their list. So.
Okay.
How long has the Angel Tree been around?
The Angel Tree started in the 70s.
Oh.
So it's been around a long time with the Salvation Army.
Well, it's a great idea. Now, if someone is watching and they are a family or they know of a family who may need assistance and would like to have their names on the Angel Tree, how do they do that?
Well, they would, at this point, would need to wait till next year.
Oh, okay. So
Unfortunately.
the deadline is passed.
Yes, the deadline has passed, but in fact, we'll be distributing those gifts next Friday on the 16th.
Okay.
So that gives the family enough time to wrap them and get them under the tree and that type of thing. There are other programs that they call up to the Salvation Army. There may be other types of assistance, or we can direct them in the right direction of who is still open in town. We do work well with the other organizations in town and don't duplicate services that way, and that way everybody gets Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah, I've noticed that about the organizations, the nonprofits here in town. They do seem to work well together.
We try,
Well, you guys have done an excellent job, and I think this is a great, great outreach that you're doing for the community. Is the number of people whose names are on the tree an indication of the economic times that we're in? What are you seeing?
Definitely. Last year we were right around 500 angels. So just in this year, we see over 200 added to our list.
Yeah. What are the variety of gifts that you see asked for on the tree? What are the
I have seen every kind of gift imaginable put on the tree. Everything from, the cute little baby doll to Thomas the Train, to Monster High dolls, to you name it. There's a lot of different kinds of gifts out there that kids want, and so.
Oh, see,
it's a lot of fun.
I think I'm going to do this year because I haven't gotten to buy toys for a lot of years, you know.
It's been a while since I bought toys.
Yeah, so I think I may do that this year just because I like to buy toys for kids for Christmas. That's that's what it's all about.
It is.
It's about children,
a lot of fun.
It doesn't matter if I get anything. I want the kids to have something and enjoy it. So.
Absolutely.
Where is it located there in Kmart?
It's right there at the mall entrance. So you can't miss it. The tree is right there in the mall entrance.
Okay.
Right inside the Kmart.
When I go to Kmart, I usually go in the side entrance there by the pharmacy. So you need to go in the mall.
You can, or you can go right in that door right beside the mall entrance. Yeah, the side entrance.
And still go down behind the registers, and you'll find it hard to miss.
Yeah, it is hard to miss.
Yeah. Well, what other programs are available at Salvation Army helping this community? I know you're involved in a lot of things.
Well, we still do have our tornado disaster relief. We have a social services office there, the core at our Inman Street offices, and we do assistance with utilities for people that are struggling on that end of things. We partner with lots of other organizations in town and do food and try and do shelter, things like that, and just any type of social service that people need. We want to step up and be able to serve.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how far the chapter has grown in the last 3 or 4 years. From not having a chapter to now, you've got beautiful offices there on Inman Street, and you've got a wonderful coffee shop which you haven't visited yet.
I haven't visited it yet.
Yes,
but I'm going.
It's great. It's just really good coffee, and the neat thing I like about it, and I like the manager Joel. He's a great guy, but he is so excited about. He considers this coffee shop a ministry.
It is.
And you go there at night, and it's just covered up with kids, college kids.
From Lee?
Yeah,
from
Lee University.
Terrific.
And they go in and they visit, a place to hang out, and they've got Wi-Fi available for like 50 computers.
Oh, wow.
And leather couches and chairs for people to lounge on, and all kinds of coffee. Any kind of coffee you'd want. They have it.
That's the truth. Hot cocos and apple ciders and
the chia teas and
you
name it. And not only is that good, but the best part about it to me is the price. It is so much less expensive than some of the chain coffee stores that you know about. And the neat thing about it is that all the money stays here for ministry.
That's right. Every bit of the profit goes back into the Salvation Army for our youth programs.
Yeah.
That's
so if you are interested at all in drinking coffee and you want some really good coffee, stop by Inman Street. They open at 7 o'clock in the morning, I believe.
They do. Stay open till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, 7 to 11.
Wow.
7 to 11. And ask if Joel happens to be in there, tell him you want a cup of good French press coffee.
That's what I'm going to get the first time I go, because I've heard you talk about it so many times.
French press. It is just so full of body, and it's not bitter, it's not acidic, and it's smooth. It just goes down so smooth.
See, I've got to go. I may have to go after between the show and work. I may do that.
It's good coffee. French press. And I forget, is it Black Gold? I think there's one called Black Gold.
There's several different kinds in there. Black Tie Affair is probably the one that I see most people getting. When
Black Tie Affair. Yeah,
Black Tie Affair.
I usually, it's something black. It may be Black Tie Affair, I don't know, but it's good. And I don't mind at all buying the coffee there, because I know that I'm helping ministry in Cleveland and Bradley County. And they're just so excited to be there. It's just amazing to watch what they're doing, and it's really doing well.
It is. It is. We've been very pleased with how well it's done.
Yeah.
And the support that the city has given us.
Yeah.
The people here.
Yeah. And there's just so many services available, and while you're in there, you can check with some of the staff, and they will, if you're interested in knowing more about the Salvation Army, they'll let you know about it. They'll tell you all about it. But check them out. And you just finished the Jingle Bell Jog, I think, last Saturday.
Sure did.
And I hope that went well.
It did. It went really well. Jim Welch coordinates that and directs it, and kept everybody running and walking. And
out at
it's a lot of fun.
Out at the Fletcher Park. That's a good venue for that. Well, we appreciate all that the Salvation Army does, and we're certainly glad that they're a part of this community, and they certainly contribute to the quality of life.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, my gosh, look at everything they did after the tornado, you know, disaster.
That was probably one of the biggest things that surprised me with doing Angel Tree, is so many people have taken angels that have been on the Angel Tree before. And they've said, I'm able to do Christmas this year. Who can I help? That was one thing that's really touched me and surprised me this year.
That's fantastic.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
They receive, so they're giving back.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic. That's great. Well, let's hit the highlights one more time before we have to take a break. Angel Tree, it's at the Kmart store. They're in the Bradley Square Mall. Go in the front door from the mall, and there's an angel tree. There's a tree there, and you just pick an angel.
That's right.
And then what do you do once you pick the angel? What do you do
Go
from there?
and purchase the gifts, bring the tag and the gifts back to the table there, and our people that are there will help you.
Yeah, and you don't even have to wrap them.
Nope.
See, I don't wrap gifts.
No, you just buy gift cards.
Well, but I even put the gift cards in the little bags with the puffy paper in the top. See, I can't wrap gifts. I can't. I got 4 thumbs. I can't wrap gifts. But I'm sorry, I can't do that. But Jim can. Jim Welch. He can wrap gifts. He told me that the other day. He was on the show. And,
oh, really?
And he was bragging about he'd been wrapping gifts for years and years and years. He learned as a teenager.
I wrap gifts very well.
Well, I've got some. I may come and see you.
Okay, just bring them to me. I'll wrap them.
You may see him at the gift wrap
he told me
booth there at the mall.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that briefly. There is a Salvation Army gift wrap booth in the mall this year. And do you know what the hours are? I caught you off
the mall, same as the mall.
What is the mall hours are? Then you can go in and it's in one of the empty storefronts inside the mall.
Yep.
And they'll wrap your gift, and again, all the money goes to ministry.
That's right. That's right.
Here in Cleveland, Bradley County. So there you go.
Great.
Well, Monica, thanks so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for what you do with Salvation Army, and thank you for the Angel Tree. And I need to get over and participate.
I do too.
You've encouraged me to do that. You've inspired me to do that. I'm going to get over there.
Come on over.
So don't forget the Angel Tree at Kmart. We have to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
Nancy's Daycare Church. Oh, we're back. We're just having a good old time here talking to Steve Heartline. He's our next guest, and I promised you he'd be here, even though I gave him a hard time before the show started, saying that we didn't know if he'd show up or not. Of course, Steve, you know I was just kidding.
Oh,
Steve and I go way, way back, we're old-time friends.
Oh, yeah.
And worked together before, and so I give him a hard time. I have that privilege, and I know he does me on the air at WCLE.
Yeah.
You never say anything bad about me, do you?
No, it's all just great and everything.
I never heard you say Dan Howe's name.
No. But, you know, I am a little late, and I apologize.
Oh, you know, you're right on time.
But
you noticed we popped out of the break, and you were sitting there. That's all that matters.
Hey, you've been in TV a long time, Dan. You know, I'm a radio guy, so normally they can't see me pop in. You know, so it's a whole different atmosphere here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's just go ahead and say I'm sorry that you have to see this.
When I was doing news, the saying was, if you've got 15 seconds, it's an eternity. And many a time I've walked on the set at the news desk putting on my lapel as they were rolling the introduction and said, "Good evening, how are you?"
And everything's just
and everybody thought I'd been sitting there for an hour. You know. So it's an eternity. You're right on time. We're glad you made it. But we're not here to laugh and have. Well, we are here to laugh and have fun. We always do. But we're really here to talk about something a little more serious, and that's the annual empty stocking fund.
Well, that's an appropriate term. It stops this morning, so that's good.
Stops this morning. The empty stocking fund. We need to get people out today and contribute and take part. And it's an annual thing that has been an integral part of this community for how many years, Steve?
This was the 41st year.
Wow.
So it's been a long time. Tom Rowland, Sandra Rowland, Bobby Taylor started it many years ago, 1970, for the Foster Parents Association. And about 10 years ago, through Brenda Lawson and Christmas Memories, those children were taken care of through the school system. They would sign up through their school. So Tom and Sandra and Bobby said, hey, you know, we want to give our money for the Empty Stocking Fund to Reverend Littlefield's
toys for the needy children. That party started 66 years ago. So you had the merging of two long-time programs about 10 years ago, maybe 11 years. And so that's what happens. So we get on the radio, we raise money, and we ask people to give, and they have given and given and given.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a great, I think, a great party on Saturday, December 17th, because that's why we're raising the money.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go back and talk about the Christmas Party for Children. That was started by your grandfather, Emmy Littlefield, who was the founder of Faith Memorial Church, and you're still attending that church, I understand.
Youth pastor. Yeah.
Youth pastor there.
David Riggs doesn't do background checks. Apparently, our pastor.
Pastor Riggs, I need to tell you something.
Yes, absolutely.
But your grandfather had a vision for this community and helping those who needed help in this community, and that's what that church is known for. So he started, was it called the Christmas Party for Children?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it had a name for many, many years. It just, he would gather, start out of his car, really, and then it progressed to the old armory, which where the old YMCA was, and then to
Mayfield School, wasn't it?
For about 30 years.
Yeah. And now that's where I participated. I went over there once, a couple of times with my wife and kids, and helped distribute the toys to the children.
And then when Mayfield moved, we went to Stewart.
Yeah.
We've been at Stewart. I would imagine the 5th or 6th year. I can't remember, but yeah, it's my grandfather. His mother died with him in childbirth. His grandmother that raised him died at the Christmas table. Oh. His dad would not have anything to do. He's from Maine, the state of Maine. So he would not have anything to do with him because he was a bootlegger. Oh. And so he had nothing to do with his son, my grandfather. And he had a wife who died of tuberculosis, had a child die. Sounds like an awful lot, and it is. And as a 33-year-old adult, it means a lot more with a little 2.5-year-old girl, Reagan. It means a lot more to me now than it ever did before. To think about the grief that one person, well, what did he do at the age of 22? The Lord saved him. And he took that. He was a drummer in dance halls.
Oh, he was?
Hard to believe.
I would have never thought that.
Those of you that,
I knew your grandfather. I never
hey, those of you that remember Brother Littlefield, now he's been gone 16 years next month.
Yeah.
But for those of you that remember, he's been around Cleveland a while. He was a drummer in dance halls. So the Lord saved him. And he took that and all of that sadness and what could have turned into bitterness and turn it into something absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, he certainly did. Wow. And what a legacy he has left. And now that legacy lives on through you and what you're doing through the radio station and in this community. And so this party, I call it a Christmas party for kids.
It is a party.
If you haven't been over, and I know you have a lot of volunteers that go over
yes.
on, like on the 17th, they give these toys out. It's amazing to see how this community responds with toys for these kids.
Yeah, it really is, and the way it works now, because the audience on the radio gives so much money, we're able. It's all brand new.
Yeah,
all brand new toys. We give them food, clothing, coats, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and we help in the neighborhood of 1,000 children every year.
See, it just amazes me. I drive in from Athens every
morning.
morning. Yeah, so I live up there, and so I listen to you on my way into work.
Sure, thank you.
Well,
when people say that to me, I always say I'm sorry.
Well, I say sometimes it's difficult to listen.
Kind of a blanket statement.
When you talk so mean to Bridget. But no, I do listen to you because I want to know what's going on in Cleveland, and it always amazes me what all you guys do on the radio station. I mean, through the tornado disaster, through the empty stocking, through all of the different things you do. It's just amazing.
Well, it's WCLE has a great heritage. 54 years in this community. The Hoskins family started. Tom Rowland really in the early '60s started really carrying the ball there, and so many people have contributed. All we're really doing is what we should be doing, and that is. And I don't mean that to be, to put that off, and I appreciate what you said, but it's just, if a license from the FCC is a privilege, honest to goodness. And so we just feel like we want to be in touch with every aspect of what happens there as much as we can.
Right.
Cleveland is really growing, as we all know.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you cover the Alzheimer's Association, the walk, which is very near and dear to my heart. But, you know, if I want to know what's going on,
well, thank
I
you.
listen to Steve and Bridget.
It's a huge compliment. Well, not Bridget, of course. We know she's asleep on the couch most of the time. But you know, and you said
you do give her a hard time.
He really does give her a hard time.
Well, now, when we turn the microphones off, it's more like the Howard Stern show. Okay. With her. Okay. Not with me. But, you know, you mentioned Alzheimer's, and I can't talk about the Empty Stocking Fund and the party without Hoyt Queen.
Yeah.
Hoyt was taken with Alzheimer's.
I knew Hoyt.
Hoyt was my godfather. He was Reverend Littlefield's right hand. He actually, you know, Papa and I run our mouth real well, but Hoyt Queen did the work.
He did the work.
And now it's David Riggs. It's Pastor Riggs who actually does the labor and setting it up and directing it.
Gets it done.
So we do have, if I can mention one thing,
Sure.
I'm sure we're running out of time.
No,
Joe keeps screaming. I don't know, Joe Palo.
We actually have plenty of time.
Well, he's a Dolphins fan, so he's used to screaming. You know.
Yeah,
But anyway,
in pain.
right,
Yeah.
right. But let me mention that the pre-registration for the party will continue next week, Monday through Thursday, at Faith Memorial Church.
Okay.
We do registration now simply so we know who's coming. We've had hundreds and hundreds of people already register, but Monday through Thursday, 10 to 1 at Faith Memorial, and they can call the church to need more information.
Okay. And that's can they stop by the church office if they need to? It's on 17.
That's it. Yeah, and they really do need to stop by. But yeah, they can call if they need more information.
Call if they need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Well, the church has such a legacy, and I know they had, maybe they still do, I don't know, a feeding program.
They do. Feed the People. 30 years this year.
A weekly Feed the People program, and people come in and just take bags of groceries out.
Started by my grandmother.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people give my papaw credit. My grandmother, Sister Littlefield, did that off her front porch, and then it, of course, moved into the building. But yeah, that's 30 years old this year, actually.
Wow.
So way back in the day, your grandfather started the Party for Children, Christmas Party for Children, and then about 10 years ago, it merged with the Empty Stocking Fund, and it seems like it's just exploded since then. It was already doing pretty well, but now it really has a lot of community support, and it has become one of the annual charities, holiday charities that this community rallies around. What did you raise last year?
We got right at $34,000. We're gonna, you know, we're at 28 right now, so I feel like we're gonna beat our. Well, we want $1 more every year.
Yeah,
and I mean that. I'm not kidding. I mean that's kind of a funny thing to say, I guess, but I mean it. I'd like $1 more. Yeah. And I think we'll do that. I really do. Tomorrow will be a big, or today I should say, as we get over there, will be a big day. We'll be at Life Care in the Professional Development Center, and be there till 10 o'clock this morning. So come out and be with us. And we have choirs from the schools are going to be with us, and hot chocolate and coffee, and
gotta go by.
Beecher welcomes us every year, and Forrest Preston, and it's a really neat thing, and
you're still accepting donations right up until the end.
Oh yeah, we'll really accept them all day today. We'll get, you know, we'll take it till 6 o'clock tonight as far as our goals concerned. So, you know, and the more we raise, the more we can do.
Yeah,
that's bottom line. You know, it's like, you know, and by the way, somebody would say, how would Reverend Littlefield feel about all the different programs now? He'd love it.
Yeah, he would.
He'd love it.
He would.
He'd love Christmas Memories and Brenda Lawson. Oh, he'd love that.
Yeah.
He'd love Angel Tree, which you just talked about.
Yeah.
He'd love William. Of course, William Hall Rogers was predated him with the Cleveland Daily Banner. What the Caring Place does, and on and on. The churches, what churches do.
Yeah.
And what now? Here's what he said.
It's not a competition, is it?
Oh no.
They're all out to do the same thing. The more groups you have, the more people you can help.
Radley Baptist Project Helping Hands. But here's what he would say. He told Randall Higgins one time, Chattanooga Times. He said, "You know, this is great. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for doing this article." It's about 1985. But he said, "What happens on December 26th?" That's my grandfather now. Christmas was the highlight for him. He loved it. But he said, what about December 26th? You know, because there's a whole nother 364 days to take care of people.
Right.
Yeah. Well, what you guys do is really a credit to this community, and it really helps enhance the quality of life for so many people, and it's a reflection of the heart of this community.
It is.
I think
it's the greatest community in the world.
Yeah, and WCLE is an asset.
Oh, thanks.
And of course, you know, my beginnings in media was in radio.
Yeah.
So I have a soft spot for radio. I love radio, but I guess WCLE is really the only hometown radio station we have
at this point.
At this point.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, there's a new one coming.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We actually, they're on the right team though, so
yeah.
we'll be telling you about a new thing happening in the beginning of the year.
Okay. But you guys are the eyes and ears of this community, and I reflect back to the tornadoes of April. Of course, my job was to be the public information officer for the EMA. And
you did great
office.
too, Dan. Thank you.
And man, I could just pick up the phone if something broke and I had to get the word out. I pick up the phone, I call Steve or call Mike Powers, and it was out, and the community knew about it. And when you have access to that kind of instantaneous media, it really makes the job a lot easier.
And you know, Mike, what Mike does, what Ed Ramsey, Bridget, in all seriousness, the entire staff there, I mean, on a daily basis, it's really interesting. And you know, spending the night is very commonplace in a storm or in the tornado situation. What was neat about the tornadoes, they would call, forgive me for that phrasing, I didn't mean that, but what was neat in the aftermath was that someone would call, a lady called, said, we're on well water and we're without water. Next call, Ross Tarver, I have a tractor trailer heading their way.
Yeah.
That would happen over and over.
Yeah.
Somebody would call a problem in and then the solution would be the next call.
And that's the way this community is. They respond, and it's a credit to all of you folks out there and how you respond. So today is the day, the final deadline for the Empty Stocking Fund go by the Professional Development Center at Life Care Centers of America.
Till 10 o'clock.
Till 10 o'clock. And you'll be there.
We'll be there.
But you'll take donations all day long.
Yeah, I'll be at Crawford's Pharmacy 11 to 1 today too.
Okay.
And then throughout, till about 6 o'clock tonight. Mike and Eddie will even take them this afternoon. So yeah, it's... we hope the 41st is the biggest ever.
Very good. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, and we wish you great success.
Thank you very much.
Steve Heartline, owner of WCLE, and that voice you hear in the mornings through the week. And be kind to Bridget.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
No, it's not going to happen.
We'll be back.
I will when the Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
Be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Which could happen sooner than later.